So this is Sykeside campsite next to the Brothers Water Inn, close to Glenriddin in the Lake District. This is where we've parked the bikes, and this is where we're setting up the tents. That's Paul just setting his tent up now. That's mine. It's all set up, and that's the view from the campsite. Beautiful view, really. Ideal spot, perfect day as well. So we've just left the campsite, Sykeside, and the Brothers Water Inn, and we're just now heading back down Kirkstone Pass. We actually came up Kirkstone Pass from Windermere to get to the campsite. This is the first time I've used this camera with the external microphone, so it may be too loud. I've not checked the sound. So the plan this afternoon, and it's 3 o'clock now, so I'm an hour later than we wanted to be, but the plan this afternoon is to ride all 5 of the Lake District passes. The route that I've planned, I think, is 113 miles, which takes in this pass, Kirkstone Pass, Windnose, Honister, Winlatter, I can't remember the other one. I think there's 5. Oh, Hardknot, that's the other one, Hardknot Pass. So we're out with Paul today. That's Triathlon Paul on the CBR 600R, which is probably great for some of these roads, but probably not so great for the really rough, narrow roads on the passes, which are more adventure bike territory, really. Ideally smaller adventure bike, I'd say. So this road is called the Struggle, which runs down from Kirkstone Pass. We were actually travelling back in the direction we came from towards Windermere, and now we've turned right to go down this road called the Struggle. It's a beautiful day today, absolutely beautiful, and it's surprisingly warm now. I guess it'll be cold camping tonight. These clear days up at this sort of altitude, it starts to get a bit cold. The guy in the campsite said it was down to, I think he said 1 degree last night, maybe even freezing, but he said there was a significant frost on all the cars this morning. I don't know how warm it is now, but I bet that's at least maybe not 20-degree drop, but something in the late teens, I guess. Sure, this will be testing the suspension on Paul's bike. These roads are actually quite rough. This is a fantastic view from up here. When you can just see the road twisting away in the distance. There's actually no cars on in this bit, which is a bonus because it's been fairly busy today. Fancy tackling this in the snow. Maybe in a Land Rover, not on a bike. Of course you won't be able to see how steep it is on the video for its first gear. So we've decided to head back to the site. To do this loop with all 5 passes in would take another 2 hours, and we're running out of time because we've had to book a bar meal at the campsite because the restaurant's full, so we've got a fixed slot for an evening meal. So we're struggling for time to do all the passes in one go. So we've done Kirkstone, which is where our campsite is, and Windnose and Hardknot, and then tomorrow we'll go and do Honister and Winlatter passes, and then we've done all 5. So we're back in Ambleside now, so we're on our way back to the site, but we're going to fuel up for tomorrow so that we've got full tanks when we set off, and get a few beers to have tonight. Probably a bit cheaper than going to the pub. That's tight Yorkshireman for you. Lake Windermere on the right. I have done the Great North swimming there. I did a 2-mile version of it. I don't think I could do that now, and that'll be pretty cold in there, it always is. They said it was 17 degrees when I did it, but there's no way it was anything like that. It's brain freeze territory when you're swimming in big lakes like that. They never seem to warm up. Well, that's it. Back to the Brothers Water Arms and the Sykeside camping park. That was a great ride, and we'll get to do some of it again tomorrow. Pub looks inviting. I think that's where we'll be heading as soon as the helmets are chucked in the tent. We'll be up to the pub. A bit busier now than when we left. Back to the tents. Right, that's us leaving Sykeside camping site. Set off on day 2 to do the remaining 2 passes that we didn't do yesterday. So we'll be doing I think Honister and Winlatter today, and then depending how long that takes, we're going to do a route to somewhere like Kirby Stephen, so I can pick one of my existing routes back through the Yorkshire Dales, which would be a nice run back and an alternative route to the route that we came on. So let's go. So I think this must be Brothers Water on the left. This is just as you leave the campsite, and I'm not sure if this is still classed as Kirkstone Pass. I think it probably is until we get back down. People out kayaking and maybe paddle boarding and stuff. The water looks dead still today, so it's probably pretty good for boarding, I guess. So this is Whinlatter Forest and the start of Whinlatter Pass. Yeah, there's a visitors centre somewhere here where we'll probably call for breakfast. But I've actually done some mountain biking here, and it is on one of the coast-to-coast routes, so I've actually ridden up this on a push bike. Not that I could do it now. Looks like this might be the visitors centre here, certainly a car park. We'll have to pay to park here. Do you want to go in? Car behind will have to move. Yeah, well, I just thought you wanted something to eat, but... Well, shall we spin it round then? These cameras will have got us now coming in though, won't they? Pardon? Alright, okay. Well, we'll just spin it round and we'll go back out then. I don't know, because I think you've got to be a member, haven't you? Yeah. I was just thinking of getting something to eat, but we'll just have to stop when we see somewhere. Nice little spot for a lunch stop. Nice little setup. That's what you call a bacon and sausage sandwich.
You don't want anything.
This is a lovely piece of, well, the tarmac's not great, but it's a lovely road. Beautiful view. Thank you. So this is Buttermere. So this is leading up from Kirby Stephen to Tan Hill. Yep. Just making sure that guy on the KTM was okay. Yeah, so we've decided to come back through the Dales and we're going to use the route that I use back from Tan Hill, which takes us through Hawes and Grassington and that way back towards Borough Bridge, and then just do the last bit on the A1. Good job of slowed down there. You don't expect a truck coming the other way on these roads. This is a lovely little riverside place where you can pretty much do wild camping. You have to pay the farmer, but there's no facilities, but it's pretty much wild camping really, just next to the river, which we'll be crossing in a sec. And there's quite a few vans pitch up down here. I think people just wing it. Obviously a lot stay up at Tan Hill, which we didn't actually go to Tan Hill. this is actually the road that goes from Kirby Stephen pretty much through to Hawes. Yeah, this is the left turn that goes to Tan Hill, but we're not going to go up there. We're just going to carry on straight on to towards Reeth. Yeah, this road does continue on to Reeth, but there is a right turn to go up Buttertubs Pass, so I think we'll probably do the Buttertubs route. So this is now Buttertubs Pass that we're going up. Which I did not that long ago actually. But it'd be rude not to if you're in this area. A big drop to the left when you go along this part. I don't particularly want to be looking down there instead of watching the road, but it is a cracking view. In fact, it was Paul that I last did this ride with. Or this road on a different loop. See for miles down here. This is a really popular biking road. This is the road from Hawes to Kettlewell. This is a popular biking road. This is the road from Hawes to Kettlewell, and it's an area that I've done quite a bit of off-road riding in, because quite a few rides that I've been on start in Kettlewell. And at the top of this hill here is the Roman road, the Cam High road. So the ridge up to the left is the actual sort of Roman road, runs along the top of that, and you actually pick it up, or you can pick it up just on the brow of this hill. So it starts just here on the left. That's the start of it. It's a fairly easy trail technically, but it's a big, wide, long, open trail, so it's pretty popular. That's a lovely spot, isn't it? Not a bad place to while away a couple of hours.